right, marketers, grab your overpriced standing desks and that oat milk latte you love so much, because welcome to Notorious B2B, the only show where we treat LinkedIn drama like breaking news and expose the real B2B marketing sins.
Yeah, think of us like SNL meets TMZ, but for the people who argue about whether gated content is still a thing or not. I'm Tas Bober, B2B landing page nerd and lovable troll on LinkedIn.
And I'm Tim Davidson, the guy making TikTok-style videos and cutting fruit on LinkedIn. Together, we're cutting out nonsense and roasting the most ridiculous trends in B2B marketing.
Because if we have to suffer through another 10 things getting engaged taught me about B2B sales, we're taking you all down with us.
Let's get into it. Fancy, huh?
Yes, very fancy shirt. What's on your shirt?
So I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
I wore a similar shirt before.
Yes, a mosaic.
Yeah, it was a mosaic shirt.
Okay.
Same theme, just different character.
Oh, fuck. Pokemon.
Yeah.
Something Pokemon related, which obviously I know nothing about, except this one's pink. And that one was like...
It's not pink.
Orange.
It's purple, by the way.
Okay, purple, pink.
Purple. Well, purple is important here because that's the character's color.
Oh, I feel like I need to do a little crash course on Pokemon so I can...
Well, for everyone listening, it's a Ghastly Gengar type of shirt. And this is important because
okay.
I have a lot of nostalgia for Pokemon, but I like to wear shirts that aren't apparent that it's Pokemon.
Okay.
Yes.
Instead of just wearing like a standard Pokemon shirt.
I just put like, oh, here's Pikachu. Cool. Nah. This is like mosaic. Like you have to put a puzzle together to figure it out.
Oh, this is like next level Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't mess around with my shirts, by the way. So.
Weren't you supposed to give us a picture of your closet? And remember how our editor asked you like 600 times in the same email thread and you never did?
Oh, did she? Well, that's on you.
She did.
You should have texted me.
Why was it?
There it is.
That's a small closet for how many shirts come out of that closet? Is it like a magic closet?
It expands out. Like,
okay.
It's not just the door length.
Okay. You need to just probably lay out all the shirts.
Can't do that. It'd take way too much time. I don't have that much time.
Wow.
I'm an executive over here of my company.
Oh, okay.
So I have like stuff to do. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So as we know,
it's juicy week.
It is a juicy week. I have been getting major FOMO because Kaylee Edmondson seems to be like level 3000 in the AI game and like GTM engineering game. Don't make that face. You make that face.
I haven't even seen it though. I don't even trust it.
As you harass her.
Yeah, because she doesn't show me anything.
So you don't actually think she's ahead of the game?
Nope. I think she's always ahead of the game, but I don't have specifics, so I don't know. I think she's a great person. I don't know how AI tech savvy she is because I can't see it. She won't show it. She's too busy.
She's too busy.
This is another plug. Not plug. This is another bit to get Kaylee to actually show me her stuff.
Okay, well, I want to show you something that I made for us. I made for us for a Notorious B2B. And it's so probably rudimentary to anybody who uses AI except us. But so I'd created, as you and I talked about, like this GPT that kind of writes like me. I fed it all the context of like my past, posts and stuff like that. And then we've been using that to help with like the episode descriptions and titles and the transcripts and stuff. So I was like, okay, I wonder if I can then just make a project assistant that's specific to Notorious B2B. And I learned this because Kaylee made the recommendation to like go listen to a few podcasts or whatever. So I was like, fine. So I was messing around yesterday and that's kind of what I ended up doing, making a Notorious B2B like kind of project here. And I have all the project files in here, which are all our transcripts from all our episodes, right? So far, I have a writing style, just like my LinkedIn posts and like tone of voice. So it knows. I have our topics document. Obviously it's not dynamic. So we'd have to like keep updating. I was going to ask that. It's so annoying.
Why can't it be? Why can't, can we get there at some point, AI?
I think we will get there at some point with AI, but for some reason it just doesn't do it right now. So you do have to manually do this, which is kind of annoying, but you can update and feed it context on this project, which is our whole thing. And then you give it instructions. So I have this instruction thing, which is like, hey, you're an assistant for this. This is what we do. You're going to help in a few ways. So you're going to create a content package where I'll give you a transcript. You're going to create all of these things for us, right? You'll help with like summaries of articles, posts, and news that we want to cover so that we're not sitting and reading an entire TechCrunch article, right? And then segments that we could do in the future, helping us with growing our podcast listener numbers, questions, and research for guest appearances. And then any way we can improve the podcast. And then I talk about the tone, la da 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 da. Okay. And I tell it specifically not to use M dashes because you hate it.
Okay. Not me. I don't even know what M dash is.
Yeah. So I tried it with episode 12, even though we already had it kind of launched and everything. So here's a conversation that came out of it. And here's the content package where it gave us the YouTube title, the description, which I did edit some stuff out. And then, thumbnail text, no more weirdos at events. And then it actually gave us some social copy too, which I did not ask for, but it just gave us cool as part of the content package. And then it gave us some clips and segments that, Lay could cut up if we wanted to, but obviously we could edit this and be like, oh, we just want these 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like how we could do it with each transcript that we get. Cool. And then we have a circle back segment this time about Builder.ai in the news. So I fed it the article, but I also said, hey, just go like search the web for it and cite your sources and give us kind of a rundown of what it is with the sources and the latest stuff that we know. So we don't have to sit and read the entire article. So it broke it out into like bullets that we can cover. And then I obviously adjusted and re-prompted for some things because I wanted some funny things in there. And then I also asked it to do like the one on the G2 badges, which is not loading for some reason.
That's all right.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So here's the G2 badge stuff that it also did. So anyway, we have this project. The issue with the projects and why you would do a custom GPT versus a project, I learned that yesterday is you can't share the projects, but you can share custom GPT.
I think you can ask it, can you give me a prompt that would duplicate the exact project into a GPT?
Just for you or for our people or whatever to do the stuff for us?
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think you can duplicate the prompt. So when you create a GPT, it'll basically
do a custom GPT based on that project.
Yeah, I think it'll basically take all that information. I don't think it can actually give you project files. So you'll probably have to upload again.
Yeah.
But I think it'll give you the exact stuff. Like here's the instructions. Here's the things I want. Here's kind of like based off our feedback or the feedback I've been giving you. Because I've had to do that for a few things where I actually created GPTs, but I was like, I can't see the backlog. Like I love the backlog of projects.
Yes.
So I was like, all right, just give me the context that I've been giving you.
And I'll go create this project.
Yeah.
If I have the right task, I can't put these in a project, which is so annoying. You can't do custom GPTs. Like if you're using that, you can't put them in projects. So
if someone's from ChatGPT listening, feedback.
Yes, tons of feedback. So anyway, that's my very my new AI thing of the week that I'm working on. I'm also doing a few other things. I have one now for my stories for my daughter, because she's starting to evolve her characters that she wants. So I'm like, shit, I need all the context. And then, for my own company and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying. But I've been doing a lot of the custom GPT stuff. I've been doing that before and sharing those out. But then the project stuff is really interesting because I do like things to be really organized, as we know this about me. But okay. Anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to show you. And now we can actually get the segment started.
All right. We had a great week, in my opinion, for gossip.
We did.
I thought it was pretty good. You know why? Because it gives us a docket.
It gives us a docket. And last week we had Pep on here, which I love having guests solely because then we create this backlog of 2 weeks worth of gossip. And I love seeing this list grow.
I don't know. This is all still kind of new though. A lot of this gossip was pretty in the last week.
Yes. I'm very excited though. Okay. You want me to do the Builder AI update? We're going to do a circle back. Little circle back. All right.
It's an interesting one.
Yes, if we're keeping that other segment in about the AI stuff for Notorious B2B,
let's use that.
Yeah, it's great. That's exactly what I'm going to use. So here's, in case anybody's missed it, somebody listened to our show for the first time this week, and they started with the PEP episode. And I'm like, that isn't even a good representation of like the types of episodes we do. So you got to go give like 3 more episods before you come and give me any feedback. But you know,
yeah, because now they're expecting like business advice. Like,
yes. But it's Anthony Perry, you know, he was like, no, I'm going to give you feedback anyway. I'm like, great, thanks. Go listen to some more stuff. Okay. So Builder.ai, in case you missed it, 2 weeks ago when we covered it.
AI, by the way, I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, like, Builder.ai.
Did you see the message of the Builder.io?
Builder.io.
They were getting
that poor
torn
company.
apart. Yeah. I mean, it's very similar. Isn't it?
I wonder how badly they're doing.
What do you mean? Not poor company. Tons of press. Take the press. Take the visits. All right.
Not if people aren't buying from them, right?
Maybe they are though.
Okay. All right. So why Builder.ai became such a big deal? It was once valued at 1.5 billion, backed by Microsoft and Qatar's like sovereign wealth fund, QIA. But it officially filed for bankruptcy. And the reason it was such a big deal was because their funding round was like $450 million or something insane, right?
Employees. I mean, it was just a pretty big company.
It was a big company, huge. And, you know, they were on the trajectory to be like this unicorn. Yeah. Well, so the company's promise was this AI powered future of app development, right? No dev team required. But what ended up happening was it delivered a lot of like smoke and mirrors and it crashed. Now, at the time we covered this 2 weeks ago, we didn't know why. We knew they were fudging financial numbers, but we didn't know how bad it was. The auditing was kind of ongoing and it still is. Okay. But this was really funny. People were calling it the Theranos of SaaS. Did you hear that?
I did not hear that, but that's hilarious.
That is hilarious. And they said, except this time, no blood samples, just the blood, sweat, and tears of human engineers in India doing all the work AI was supposed to automate. So here are the latest discoveries. One, the revenue fabrication, which we kind of, you know, the vibe was there. But the internal investigations found that they inflated revenue by up to 75%, not 20%, not 30, 75%. Okay. They recorded discounted deals at full value. They took credit for revenue with minimal deposits, roughly $120 million in reseller deals that were likely misinterpreted. And then second, the manual labor behind the AI curtain. This is the part where everyone's like, what? So they're talking about being an AI company, right? That's probably the whole reason they got the funding. It's in their name. But more than 700 engineers in India were executing tasks that were pitched as automated. Oh my God. Then they also had a couple of things, which is suspicious partnership deals. So they made deals with companies like Verse Innovation and Ultimate Tennis Showdown, raising red flags over artificially inflated deal volume. So they were fudging some numbers there, just talking about how many deals that they had, even though they were kind of more partnership referral type stuff. Maybe not even that. This was really funny. Their founder, Sachin Dave Dougal, stepped down in February. We covered that part, but here's the best part. He denies any wrongdoing, saying that it was a conspiracy by the investors. It was a governance crisis rather than fraud. And he had zero awareness of any misconduct that had happened. He had no idea that all of this was going on. He had no idea that there was 700 engineers under his wing.
That's a lawyer. That's kinda a lawyer answer.
Yeah.
No, deny until the court. You have to.
Yeah, true.
I get it.
The rippling deal thing, they're also denying.
That's what you gotta do. I get it.
So finally, the U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District of New York, is now involved seeking documents tied to financial reporting and customer relationships. So more is probably going to come out, and they are going to see if there were actually any crime. There was actually any crime that was conducted here. I mean, outside of the clear deception and lies.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a crime, right? Well, it probably is if you're getting investment, because you're lying about what your company is to get investment. I'd assume that's a crime at some point, or at least a fine. I don't know. How
diabolical though. Like, I feel like it's like an episode of 2025's version of The Truman Show, where we are all like having these conversations with like ChatGPT, and there's like an Indian guy in the background responding back to us. And we're like, And it's funny because it's like, yeah, they're not following the instructions fully. You're like, come on, like take the M dash out. And he's not, because he's just like fucking with us the whole time. That would actually be hilarious.
I mean, it's possible. It took them 13 years to figure that, the Builder.ai part out. Like ChatGPT is only 4 years old, 5.
Oh, shit.
Who's to say it's not going to happen? We don't know.
Oh, shit. That would be... Oh my gosh, what if this whole time it's just like Sundar in the background, who's just been like part of my experience this entire time? If that's the case, he's done actually pretty good. So
it's impressive, yeah.
It is impressive. It is impressive.
So a lot of funding around the AI hype cycle.
Yes. When people didn't fully understand it, what it took, it was easy then to do it. But now as people get more educated, it's like, something's not adding up here. Or how did this get done? Or, that kind of question.
I mean, you hear about the AI hype, investment is coming to the AI companies. You don't have a good model set up. Let's just get some cheap Indian labor and see what we can do. Oh, we'll figure it out later. That's usually what happens. Like, oh, we'll fix it. We'll get it there.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that pretty standard though? Like, we're going to sell you on the vision, but not the product as it is today.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. They did. They faked it.
Was this founder from YC Combinator? I feel like this is a YC Combinator thing.
Let's move on to the second thing, because we do have a docket and I want to cover a lot.
Yeah, we have
as much as we can. Okay. Second, this is more juicy for B2B, or by far the juiciest, which is G2 now paywalling their badges. So we have talked about how it was a brilliant play by G2 to even come up with these badge things and then have every company in fucking B2B put it on their website. It's like free press, right? Like they became the stamp of credibility, even though they come up with some random freaking badges sometimes. And then now there was, which I couldn't find the original post where I saw it. I tried to look back through our history too, but then Clark Barron, per usual, covers it also.
Clark, keep away.
But I actually just had our assistant go through G2 documentation on their website. So for those who are unfamiliar, which hopefully you're not unfamiliar with G2 if you're in B2B, but we can give you kind of the background, right? So G2 badges are considered like these marketing gold stars for B2B software companies. G2 is a review website where people your customers namely, can leave reviews about your product. And it basically is this like review collection website. So if you're unfamiliar, you're caught up.
It's a review site.
It's a review site. Their badges became this thing where you could take the badge if you won like best enterprise product of 2025 and you could put it on your website and it adds this additional stamp of like, you got this.
They do it every quarter. They do it every season. So there's like winter, spring, 2025, 2024, small business, enterprise, bestseller, like whatever. Yeah. There's tons of different options. And like you get like a huge packet of like 40 of them if you are at top of a lot of these kind of review sites or for the category that you're in.
Yes. It's like the Oscars for B2B software.
I wouldn't go that far.
What would be the Oscars for B2B software?
There's none. I mean,
there's nothing. Maybe we should start
maybe just LinkedIn fame.
LinkedIn fame. Okay.
Yeah. Like a viral post.
So as Tim was saying, they can be earned if your product performs well in their quarterly market reports. To earn a badge, your product must rank in the leader or high performer quadrants of their grid report. So again, they own who ranks in these things. They're not review based, right, Tim? They're not based on the number of reviews.
They are to an extent.
Exactly.
I think it's actually more. I think G2 is actually more review based than Gartner and Forrester or like Software Advice or the other one that Gartner owns. Especially when you rank up. So if you type in like a certain category, CRM software, and G2 is going to come up for it. The way you rank is actually based off of reviews.
Okay.
I think it's actually like recent reviews and then like good reviews, like an amount.
So it does say here that you can earn badges like the Users Love Us badge by collecting at least 20 reviews with an average rating of 4 stars or higher. So how you can use them in the past, at least, you could display them on your website, landing pages, email signatures, any of your marketing materials. So again, brilliant marketing play by G2 to have their logo and their badges everywhere, displayed across everyone's marketing material, right? Freaking brilliant. But there have been some recent changes to badge accessibility, and that has everybody in an uproar, including our Bestie Clark. So starting with the summer 2025 reports, G2 has updated their badge accessibility policies. Vendors with free G2 profiles will still be eligible to earn placements, but will not be able to publicly display or use badges from those reports and beyond without upgrading their G2 profile. Upgraded profiles receive all the benefits of the free profiles, plus access to new badges and the ability to display them publicly. And so I was like, well, how much does it cost to upgrade your G2 profile? Because if it's like $20 or whatever, okay, most companies can, no shot, right? Okay, upgrading, obviously, guess what? G2 does not publish fixed pricing on their website.
It's probably different in every category, like I guarantee you.
However, industry discussions suggest that entry-level packages typically start between 10 to 15K a year. These packages often include like a core module. They have add-ons, so that stuff can go higher and higher and higher and higher. And the funny thing is, it sourced Reddit for this. So just FYI, if you don't show pricing, people will go and find it on Reddit. And who knows if that's the truth or an angry person with a username like killg2. Whatever. Can you just buy badge access? Like if you don't need anything else from them, can you just buy badges? No, it does not offer standalone purchase. So that's where we are with this. What are our thoughts on that? Is G2 kind of killing G2's stuff, or is it become like the Twitter verified badge? But now if it's pay to play, like can everyone get I don't know. Talk to me about it.
I think on one hand, they'll probably make more money. So they're probably gonna be happy about that. On the other hand, I think G2 has been known as more review based. So it's less, I think everyone just knows that, to get in the Gartner quadrant, you do have to pay. To get into the Forrester quadrant or the Forrester, whatever their tree thing is, you have to pay. To get in all these things, you have to pay. G2 has been more review based. If people love you, we'll rank you pretty good, and you'll still be like top of the thing. I think that's going to hurt their credibility there. It's like you have to pay. It's just more of like a pay to play thing now. That said, I don't know I think the reviews are still going to like be the thing that makes you rank higher. Like I think it'll still say under CRM software, this company is the highly ranked one, best users love us, all that stuff. They're just saying you can't use our badge on your website. You can't use it in ads. You can't use it in what collateral we would use it. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't love it, but that's because that's what no one wants to pay more for things like that.
Okay. So I also asked it if you can use the actual reviews from G2 still, even though you can't display the badges. And it says, yes, you can still display the G2 review. So they do have, because I do this for my clients, they do have requirements if you're going to feature their reviews. One, you have to link back to the G2 site. So smart. Another SEO play, right? You link back to their website. So they get the backlink out of there, and you cannot alter it in any way, but you can display the individual reviews. And you can use their own widgets too on the free plan. So the only thing that's restricted are like the new badges or like some stuff that's on their actual site, like profile customization and any intent data and that kind of stuff that you want to do. So at least there's that. You can still use the reviews. I think what's going to happen is most people aren't going to care right now, because if you were like spring 2025, that's still pretty relevant. You can still use all your old badges. But 2 years from now, when it looks like all you have are old badges, I'm going to see a steep drop off of badges on the site. They're not going to want to put that up there. Like, who cares if you were the 2018 enterprise CRM software? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also think there's going to be people that it's really easy to make a badge. Like you can still put it in your PowerPoint presentation. Like,
oh, you know what? I can actually see that happening. Maybe it doesn't go on the website, but it's 100% going to go into slide decks, because what's a prospect going to know about like, hey, can you display that or not?
I actually think I'm starting to come around more to this. I actually think it's going to be better for the people that have it, because there's going to be less people. Because if you go on any website, you're going to see the G2 freaking badge. Any B2B website, for the most part, you're going to see the G2 badge. Like, everyone has it. Yeah, everyone has it. And yes, there's going to be some that say, best B2B software for mid-market, 200 to 500 employees. Some are going to be at best for enterprise. But it's all just like the white badge with the orange lettering. It's all the same stuff. I think it's going to be better for... It might be a good thing. Now I'm thinking about it. It might be a good thing because the companies that do use it are going to get more credibility from it. Because not every company's going to have it.
But speaking of fudging the badge, it is easy to do because I did it and printed it on a onesie and sent it to you before you had your son. That's how easy it is.
And I'm not positive that buyers see the badge and say, let me fact check this. Let me go to G2 and see if you come up for this. And like, where do I have to find that? No, I don't think people do that. The people that do that are us. We're the people that do that. And we're not enterprise buyers, unfortunately. So I don't think people do that or care to do that.
No. Yeah. Even when I was a buyer, I mean, I don't do that now, but even when I did it. I think I'm desensitized to it. So when I see the badges, I just like my eyes just gloss over and I'm like, who cares? Who doesn't have a badge? Because what they've done is they've made too many categories, or maybe B2B SaaS just has too many categories.
There's too many categories.
Yeah. And so now everybody's got some random category. Then you have the other ones that are more general ones that you can win. And it's like, how many badges are there? Thousands? Then it's kind of like when you only have like maybe 6 categories of like an Oscar, there's more. There's like a dozen or more. I don't know, 20. But it's like they don't have 2,000 categories. So it's like you just kind of lose it. You know what I mean? So if they had a core set of categories and these are the companies that won those, like, oh shit. You know what I mean? That's when it makes sense. Okay.
I agree.
That is the G2 badge stuff.
I think the question though, one last note here. The question is, where do they stop? Because I think this is like just one more step to make more money. But like, what's the next thing? I think the next thing has to be to get like to even be on there. You have to pay now.
Yeah.
Because they got to figure out more ways to make money, right? Like they already do like their, intent data and all that stuff, like upgraded profile. And then there's going to be the badges that they're doing. Then where do they make more money next? That's the question. So I think at some point, all these ones are doing this. Like I think you have to pay to do everything now. It sucks. Just truth.
Hashtag capitalism. We talk
Nothing
about this all the time.
is review based anymore. Yelp ruined. Amazon reviews ruined. Like all that stuff is just ruined because people pay.
There's nothing that's agnostic other than maybe you collecting.
Reddit's the only thing that's truthful. Everything on there
is it truthful? Because you can say whatever the hell you want on Reddit. And most people on Reddit are just angry because they can hide behind a username and they can say some unhinged shit and no one's going to fact check it because no one cares. But like Reddit, it's a scary place for a reason, Yeah, but it's like Mad Max. Like that's how I picture Reddit is like your Mad Max.
It's also, you're going to have some bullshit on there, which, you got to be smart. You got to you smell through it. Yeah. But there's also going to be a lot of honest stuff on there.
Yeah.
Because their screen name is JPEG Gengar 71, they can leave an honest review about G2.
Yes. Or
there's also going to be JPEG 38 that leaves a review about G2, which is who works at G2 and is the CEO of G2.
Yes.
There's also that too.
There's a lot of that shady side of things. 100%, which is why you always want to look at the post history of a person.
Yes.
Always. We found that out too. Okay. Are we moving on? We're moving on. Next, there was a little drama with Toast and a freelancer. Do you want to handle this or you want me?
Yeah, because I also asked the freelancer here and he did not get paid yet.
Oh, he did not? But he posted a screenshot of him getting paid.
I know. That's what's crazy to me.
Okay. Very interesting. Let's go.
All right. So a freelancer, his name is Sourav Islam, I think. He states, freelancers, be careful, even with professional clients, in quotes, professional. I usually don't make posts like this, but what happened needs to be shared to other freelancers. Don't fall into the trap so they don't fall into the same trap. I recently worked with Gabriel Hill, a senior retail account executive at toasttab.com.
The payment company. To
collect 1,300 targeted emails for his outreach campaign. This project cost me $300 in tools, data, and time. Shockingly, not only did he fail to pay me after I delivered the full work, but he also blocked me on WhatsApp. No replies, no payment, just blocked and gone. This kind of behavior is not professional. It's unethical. It's not just unprofessional, it's unethical. Blah, blah, blah. Blessings. After 5 months of silence, he posted about this. So the senior account executive, retail account executive, Gabriel Hill, owes him, this freelancer, $350. And it's been 5 months and he has not paid him. And I just asked him today, and he did not get paid, even after this post, which had 231 likes, 197 comments.
Which it did get him to respond, because his first comment right there, he says, he shows the screenshot where Gabriel did finally respond and said, "Hey, what do I owe you? Please send over."
Oh, this was in.
Oh, this was still
this
back.
This is a screenshot from back then. Yeah, no response.
Never mind.
But this has got some legs. He tagged Toast in this.
And Gabriel.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if this was through Gabriel or Toast, right? We don't, if it's Toast, like, come on, just pay the guy $325.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's actually, because I wrote this down as like a sub note in our document here, which is like this Toast employee. Yes, he's real because I looked him up. So he is an account executive at Toast. And it sounds like he solicited help outside of his company. And so he had to go get this list or whatever, which likely Toast is paying him to do. Like, you're going to create an outreach list. You're going to go out. You're going to do this. And he hired a freelancer off of Upwork and had them go curate this list for him, which the guy then ended up sending him 5 months ago, and he never got paid for. And I think Toast now is catching secondhand heat because the freelancer's like, wow, this cool dude from Toast is the one hiring me. And Toast is like, I didn't even know this was happening. So I wonder how much of that goes on. But it does beg the question then, like, because there were some comments in there where people were like, we find it hard to believe that Toast, a company that big, would solicit help from a freelancer on Upwork to help the AEs curate lists. Like, this is, like, wouldn't they have tools? Wouldn't they have their own people? And that just doesn't sound like something that would be authorized, by the sales team or their budget.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It could be just Gabriel going on his own. It could have been Toast saying, hey, get this 1,300 contact list. We're using these tools. We just can't figure it out, right? Like, can you just figure out a solution? Tell us how much it costs and we'll pay it. There could be that too. And then Gabriel just says, nah, I'm just not going to pay him. It's $325. Don't care. Which, I don't know if he went through, didn't say if he went through Upwork or one of the other platforms, but I'm pretty sure there's like guidelines or guardrails there to like make sure people do pay. So I don't think it is through, I'm assuming it was not through that.
Because it was all in WhatsApp.
Yeah. So it might've been like, I don't know where he went to find this person, the freelancer, but I don't even know what we're talking about here. I mean,
but it looks like,
I'm sorry, just get it paid.
Just get it paid. But I will say one thing, which is in the comments, he did, someone was like, is this guy, are you sure you have the right Gabriel? Like, could it be someone who's impersonating him? And he actually pasted the screenshot of like him.
The DM. Yeah, I think I saw that.
The DM. And it was Gabriel Hill saying, oh, hey, this is my email. And so it was funny because the person who asked was like, well, that clears it up. That is actually the dude. So I actually have that here so I could show everybody. But it was so funny to me because, I mean, I kind of had the same questions as well, where it's like, maybe silly question. Have you confirmed it's him? And he goes, not silly. So this looks like LinkedIn DMs. November 25th and then December 4th, which by the way is my birthday. First week is fine. And here's my name. Here's my email. So that was interesting. But what I wanted to show was I was just going through the comments to see what people were saying. And many people were like, hey, did you have a contract? He said no. But then I thought this exchange was hilarious.
I just saw that. Yeah.
Kaushik Farhan, who's also a freelance prospect list builder, right? So same field as this dude, comes on. He goes, 1,300 targeted emails will cost maximum $260. And so this dude goes, Sourav goes, it depends on the leads. And he goes, you charged him a lot. That's why he ran away. And then he said, nowadays sales SQL is one of the best tools for email, phone, and it costs only $441 for 36,000 credits. And you're telling us that it costs you $300 plus for 1,300 leads. And Sourav goes, we discussed payment before we started work. Kaushik goes, now it sounds good. So don't tell us that it cost you 300 plus for tools. And he said, well, it was a manual task, so you shouldn't talk about what you know. And he goes, everyone isn't fool. But anyway, I got a good giggle out of that where someone's coming out and like, they're arguing about this nitty gritty, like it shouldn't cost you $300 for a list. And it's like, why are we buying lists? Can we please stop with the list buying? No matter what tool we're using, right? But anyway, I thought that was a funny exchange from this whole situation. But here's the thing, 100% have a contract. This is probably why Upwork and Fiverr and those kind of things are like, use our platform. But most people take it off because they don't want to pay the middleman. But if you don't want to pay the middleman, you kind of have to put these guardrails in there. However, you're in different countries, like what legal action could Sourav like ever possibly take in this instance?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, that's the thing. People do, this happens all the time, right? Like there is a lot of other scenarios like this where people even have contracts and they just don't pay.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like at $325, I don't know the cost of like getting legal help or the time, but is that I don't know if it's going to be worth it to get that legal help. Like wouldn't that cost more?
Yes, 100%. It would cost you more for an hourly rate with a lawyer to consult than paying this person.
I think what he did was right. Like get the post, tag the people and see what happens. Unfortunately, a day after, he did not get paid yet. Or I don't even know if it got, it doesn't even sound like it got contacted.
No.
But if I was from Toast, I was like whoever. If I was the CEO, I'd be like, okay, let's, here's, Venmo.
Here's my credit card number.
Yeah.
Well, how much, like if you're at Toast and if Gabriel's like, I never did this or whatever.
Yeah. And, there's that too.
Then Toast is like, oh, I'm going to trust this guy over this random freelancer with an open to work badge sitting in a different country who's using Toast to get some LinkedIn clout.
But he's got the DMs and he did show the DM.
Yeah, he did not show the DM.
What's that? No, he did. Remember?
I mean, he just showed a screenshot of him saying, next week is fine. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It could be that too.
Yeah.
It could be completely fake too.
Yeah.
I think I looked at this guy's profile. Like it doesn't have a track record of doing this.
No.
Like what are we trying to do here for $325? Like, is this what you're trying to do one time? Like, is that worth one time scam of $325?
Well, maybe not to us. Maybe with the exchange rate, it is a lot of money for him,
Yeah, but
I mean, this would be a pattern.
$2,000. Like, bump it up.
Yeah, if this is a scam, then be ambitious.
Yeah, either 2,000 or do it a bunch of times, but you can't do it a bunch of times if it's going to be public.
TLDR, if you're going to scam people, just like go big or go home. Okay.
I hope he just pays it. It's too small of a world in B2B.
It's too small.
If it's true.
But that's the thing. Like last week, Pep said, like, even if something isn't true, now he has this different image of clay in his brain. Sometimes it's like, oh shit, you just need a small thing like that. That's like, oh, I remember the story once where Toast didn't pay a freelancer. And even if Toast wasn't involved and it was someone there, it's like you're representing the company. That's enough. You know what I mean? To just give someone a bad taste.
Yeah. And especially if Toast works with freelancers, I mean, people are going to be skeptical.
Oh, good point. Very good point. Okay, moving on. Oh, am I covering this? Okay. All right.
This one's funny.
You think it's funny?
Yeah, because we do this all the time.
Yeah.
You're talking about the masterclass here?
Yes. Yes.
I'm just thinking back to the Barbie movie. What you can learn from the Barbie movie. Remember that? All that stuff on LinkedIn?
Well, we do it about everything. So
that's the thing.
We're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Before people are like, WTF are you talking about? This isn't B2B news, but LinkedIn loves to take big news and turn it into what this teaches us about B2B marketing or whatever. So last week it was announced that Rhode Skin, which is a skincare and makeup brand by Hailey Bieber, right? Famous Justin Bieber's wife. And she grew up model, already comes from like a famous family, right? Who is her dad?
It's like Steinfeld or something. Hailey Baldwin. So is her maiden name. So Alec Baldwin's daughter.
Alec Baldwin's daughter. So already born into wealth, fame, that kind of stuff.
Connections. Yeah. All
connections, right? Marries Justin Bieber, gets even more famous as a result.
And he's fucking famous.
And so she then has a lot of like, similar to the Kardashians and stuff, huge following, very influencer, creator, life.
All the stuff, right? Everything that you can think of matches up with what would happen for someone that have a huge following, easy money in your pockets, like build a brand based off of
just fame. You being famous and beautiful.
The greatest hack in the world. Fame.
Yes. And so she builds a brand and then starts a skincare and makeup company called Rhode Skin, and then e.l.f. Beauty.
Where the fuck are all these names from?
You don't know e.l.f.? e.l.f.'s
no,
like,
I don't.
I use
but these
e.l.f.
names are hilarious.
I use e.l.f. a few things, but I actually do like e.l.f. Beauty a lot as a brand. They're all about like being vegan and clean and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, pretty good mainstream makeup brand. I wouldn't expect you to know, Timothy.
Yeah, my fault.
Okay. But they decide to acquire Rhode Skin for $1 billion frickin' dollars. $1 billion, right? Hailey Bieber is going to stay on as the chief creative officer. So she gets to stay on and be still the face of the brand, creating content around it, but she's not dealing with all the other BS, right? And so LinkedIn's going crazy because I've seen tons of posts about it already. And I'm like, okay, LinkedIn. And it's like, most of the posts are like this: Rhode Skin and e.l.f. Beauty, these are the blueprints for modern branding. So we're going to walk through one of these posts. So you can see here, this person, Maria J. Morales, says, a blueprint for modern branding. e.l.f. Beauty acquires Rhode Skin, and this is more than just a celebrity brand acquisition. It's not about adding another skincare line. It's about capturing cultural capital. Woo! Big claims. Rhode Skin, co-founded by Hailey Bieber, is not just a brand, it's a phenomenon. Obviously, this is written by AI. Built almost entirely on the back of social media mastery.
That's even more funny, by the way.
Social media mastery, influencer equity, aesthetic branding. It proves what happens when storytelling, product market fit, and Gen Z resonance are perfectly aligned. And then she goes into why it matters. And it talks about like how, Hailey is the brand and she's so authentic and she blurred the line between founder and product. And then, e.l.f. Beauty didn't just acquire product line. They bought influence because of that attention that she has and the aesthetics and aspiration. And then the strategic synergy, whatever the hell that means, mastered. So e.l.f. Beauty is known as like an affordable brand. And so now it's like building, luxury minimalism and skincare credibility with Rhode. And then DTC isn't dead. Did anyone say DTC was dead? I don't know. I had like 15
Pretty
Amazon
sure it was the
packages.
opposite.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anything, it's the opposite.
It's 100% the opposite. It's actually killing e-commerce.
Yeah.
This post sucks.
So this post totally sucks, but this is where, this is one of many posts like this that were made. And look at the amount of reactions that it actually got. So almost 3,900 reactions, 78 reposts. And then one of my favorite people and Natividad.
Before you get into that, can we just explain why it got so many shares and stuff?
Yeah,
because this is the classic dead internet post, in my opinion, because it's the classic like, oh, this is what we can learn from a brand that sold for $1 billion in 3 years. Here's what we can learn. It's all AI, like we just talked about. And there's just a bunch of open to work people liking it. A bunch of people that aren't even real on LinkedIn just liking it. And it just goes viral. This is one of those tons of tags, by the way. What is that crap? Why are you tagging Rhode Skin in every single paragraph?
Like every single time.
They're only gonna get one notification, by the way. So it's just like one of those very high level viral posts.
Yeah,
Look,
I feel like
Maria's
it's
great,
easy.
by the way. Maria's probably awesome.
You're very kind to say that. It is one of those very standard posts. Like today, if I went and I was like, I, binged everything that Alex Hormozy said, and here are like the top 5 lessons. It's like one of those that are automatically going to do well because it's curated content that's already there. It's a famous person they can like attach to and understand. You could make a post about Taylor Swift or Beyonce and like it would still do relatively well. Then she did this like, oh, we're going to connect it to a blueprint of modern marketing or whatever. Like, this is a riding the coattails, but honestly, it does nothing for her specifically.
Maybe that is the whole thing. I don't know. I didn't look into her. She said she's the creator and partnerships marketing manager somewhere. So maybe she's a D2C person that's talking about this. But in order to get this kind of virality, like 45 comments.
I know it's very little. Right?
Compared to 3,900 likes.
Do you think someone bought?
I'm not saying there's any bot things because she's also replying to a lot of comments. So she seems like a real person, but something's weird there. It's a lot of likes versus comments.
I mean, there's comments in here that she just has not responded to either.
That's fair. But that is that's weird, right? It has to be weird. It's a lot of comments. That's a lot of likes to comment. That's a big comment to like ratio. Small
ratio. Very small ratio.
I don't like it.
What's your speculation there?
I don't know. To be honest. I've just never seen that many likes compared to that many comments without
it's true. It is a low number of comments. I mean, my post today has
extremely low
69 likes and has like almost 40 comments. So like, yes, it is very low.
Yeah.
But
even that though, like you and I, and like a lot of people that are like, they don't go for these viral posts. It's a little different, right? It's going to be a different ratio, but even that kind of ratio is weird. Like that's just a very strange ratio. Like I'm just going to do the math real quick. What is that? 45 comments
divided by 3880 reactions.
That's 1.15% ratio. I don't know if that's good or not, actually.
I'm just looking. They obviously have a ton of like blue likes versus the other reactions.
It's like the stand. That's like
that's just the standard. Like I'm passing by, I'm going to like it.
If you're lazy, like you don't want to click on it, like it's an extra step. I get it.
Okay, let's dig in a little bit more. Partnerships marketing manager at Athena, whatever that is.
Oh, is Athena the VA service?
Is it?
Oh, it's Athena, not Athena.
Athena?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, the platform for hiring world-class talent.
From All In talks about it a lot.
Okay, you know, like she has 3,500 followers, but her posts do decent. So like that's interesting to me, like hundreds.
She had a low comment ratio though.
She does have a low comment.
For all of them.
Ooh,
maybe that's her stick.
Oh, is this all the VAs are going and liking this?
Oh, shit.
Oh, we just unlocked a conspiracy.
Because they have a big company because of all the VAs, if you think about it.
Yeah, they have a big company because of all the VAs. She doesn't have a huge following. But if you look at these, I wonder if we go in and like look at some of these, if they're all...
I don't care that much.
I mean, I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I'm just saying these are like likes that I don't even get consistently on my post. Not to say that I'm fantastic or anything, but you know.
By the way, Maria, if you're listening, I'm sure you're a great person. Like we don't mean anything.
I don't know. We might mean something.
I'm skeptical. That's it. I'm just skeptical.
Okay.
I'm sure you're a great person.
That's
good
fair.
Post-ish.
That's fair. Okay. Back to Amanda. Yeah. Amanda Natividad. She says, listen, this is not a masterclass in brand building, and there's virtually nothing brands can learn from Hailey Bieber selling Rhode for $1 billion. Unless you think being born beautiful and into wealth and fame and then marrying an iconic pop star are learnable marketing skills. So very true. I do think like that obviously gives you a lot of the foundation. That's what we were kind of talking about. Her post does really well. She gets like 1,400 reactions, 234 comments, which seem more like it, and few more reposts. And she actually screenshot, as you like to say,
nice.
Another similar post where it talks about basically it being a lesson that we can all take from. Like, obviously, we're not going to be able to replicate this, you know what I mean, in any shape or form. So yeah, it just talks about building a community, being product-led, viral scale. Like there's tons of companies who could do that, but they don't have a Hailey Bieber. So basically, please stop like giving us unrealistic goals and aspirations. We already are chocked full of them from the CFO. We don't need more people telling us that we can achieve Hailey Bieber's like levels of wealth just from community building. Right.
Just for reference here, that comment to like ratio is 16 times higher than the post we're talking about. 16. And by the way, I wonder how many people bought Rhode just because of Justin, because he's got a lot of female fans. And Hailey, like and Hailey's also, she's just not as big as Justin though. Like just to be clear.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great singer, by the way. I like his songs a lot. His Christmas songs are the best. I'm being serious. It's on my Christmas playlist every single time. He's got great songs.
Wow.
I'm learning
so much about you.
I'm a big fan of him.
Wow. Have you bought a big fan of his music. Have you bought any Rhode cosmetics?
Nope. Didn't even know it was a thing.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking.
I'm all natural here. All natural. Balding and all. Natural.
Stop it. Okay, so that's kind of that. Please stop using celebrities as marketing lessons that we can take away from, because we can't unless you
look. If you have a celebrity, if you're married to a celebrity, go
use
for
it. Use it.
Fucking hell, yeah.
100% use it. Exactly. Okay. Speaking of being celebrity status, I think that in B2B, good segue. In B2B, our level of celebrity status just goes as far as being used as outreach bait. Okay.
Yeah. These are the worst.
So these are the worst. And it's funny because this actually has happened to me, which made me both annoyed and flattered, because I'm like, wait, am I LinkedIn famous now? But Alina, CEO and co-founder at Chili Piper, said, this is such a strange practice. They basically scrape posts I write and send cold outbound emails to my followers to grab attention. It feels all wrong to me, but posting here to get other opinions. And then she said, update, I reached out to the agency that did this and they agreed to stop this practice, which I'm extremely grateful for. Thank you to everyone who gave feedback in the comments and made this possible. I think it's important that we try our best to keep ourselves human and create good practices for outbound teams who can do better in their outreach. So she obviously handles it with a lot more grace and integrity than me. The screenshot here says, subject line, probably that person's name and Alina's post. Hey, we see that you engaged with Alina's post about teaching him how to be disappointed. She probably posted something about her son and then the next, you know what I mean? So it's even grimier when you're using someone's kid. Like, you obviously automated and did some bullshit there. And I asked, this is so bad. I asked Claire from my team to go through your account and do an audit. We noticed you're only posting 2 times a month. Are you open to a quick chat on the full audit? We'll show you this LinkedIn playbook. Terrible. This is worse than mine.
This is what I'm assuming it was automated. So yes. If that's the case, this is where I blame Clay, to be honest. I'm blaming Clay for a lot of these.
Oh, juicy.
And it's not some other company would have done it. It's not just Clay, but everyone, the Clay outreach, right? Like you set up this great freaking Clay table and let's get Alina's post, automate these certain places. There's the template. We're going to pick different things based off of the post, the AI, all that stuff. And we're just going to send mass emails based off of that. And if this is automated, it just picks whatever post Lena's putting out there, one of our kids, it reads the post, makes a little AI change to it.
Gross.
And then just spits it out. I hate it.
And it pulled the wrong freaking post because she posts a lot of personal stuff, and it pulled one about teaching her son some lesson, and it used it is grimy outreach.
I bet you they do it for all of them. It's just some are going to stick out more than others. For whatever reason, that person just read it. I don't know if it was actually Alina that got it. I don't think.
No, someone probably shared
that would be even worse if Alina got one about her own post.
That would be hilarious.
That's what I thought it was at first, which is hilarious. But it was not, I don't think. But I've gotten these too. But it's more like LinkedIn posts. Oh, so you're talking about ABM, like Tim's post. Blah, blah. I get that though. I hate it, but I still get it. But if I talked about my son.
Yeah, that's gross. I mentioned my daughter a lot. So if someone used my daughter, that would be freaking gross. I would be so enraged. This is the one that my friend Will, his name is something else, but I've always mispronounced it as Rippleto, and that's how it is in my phone. But he's also a pretty big LinkedIn guy. Well, I love Will, but he texted me and he's like, dude, you become this famous now where people are using you for outreach? And he sent me this, which is, Will, did you see this? Hi, Will, we both liked Tas Bober's post roasting a B2B landing page, and then terrible formatting. Next line with actual tips on how to improve. Since we're both into high performing pages, which is hilarious because that is not what he does at all. He's actually like a LinkedIn coach, like a recruiter type, in placing B2B jobs. So he's not into high performing pages that print. I think you'll like a tool I've launched for site owners and operators. Again, not him. So not only was it bad targeting, bad use of personalization with this outreach and using my name, and then terrible formatting. It just fails.
The worst. That's the worst of it, to be honest.
Everything. So that's why I was like, look, Ma, I finally made it. People are using me for cold outreach. And I thought, It was hilarious. But this is a practice now. The first time I got it was Adam Robinson. Tas, I saw that you liked Adam Robinson's post. So, we shared the same. I'm like, what? I'm like, I've liked a lot of Adam Robinson's posts. You're going to have to be specific. And just because I liked someone's post doesn't mean I'm ready to buy your stupid AI tool. Like, what has that got to do with anything? Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's very common practice though. Like you've seen this a lot.
But like, can we not do this though?
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck telling people not to do it. Everyone's looking for something.
Everyone's looking for something, but it's like,
it probably worked before at some point in life, right? It probably worked.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, when would it have worked? And probably like when the first person who did it.
That's the funny thing. Say things don't work, like cold calling. I hate cold calls, but I know they work.
Yeah. Someone emailed me and did I tell you that it worked? I need a post about it.
Yeah. See, those things do work.
But it's totally a slot machine type of thing. Like you have to send it to me at the right time. Yeah. The right exact time. I was like, oh yeah, I actually do have that problem. But it's like, I never actually thought that moment existed. And then it happened top of mind. To me.
Yeah. Cold call did work one time because it was top of mind.
Yeah.
On me, like those things do work.
For you. I'm talking about me as a consultant. Like I hired a writer who did cold outreach with me, but I also liked his style. And then I found out he's in Ohio. So like it just kept compounding. This is cool. Like local.
Do they really live in Ohio? Or is that a lie?
I'll find out when I go to Cleveland next time. And I'm like, you want to hang out? And he ghosts me.
That'd be funny. It's a weird tactic. I think it's like everything too. It's overplayed now. The example you showed of yours, it's like, it's just not even
terrible.
The person liked it because he's probably friends with you. Like,
yes, he's my
care
friend.
About landing pages that much.
They didn't even look at his profile. His tagline doesn't even say anything about him being a marketer. I mean, it's terrible. Like, if you're going to automate it, well, scrape the right data then. Like, he's not the right person for that.
No one's got time for that.
Yeah, no one's
It's just a spray game. Spray and pray.
Isn't it just another row in the clay table? I don't even know what a clay table looks like.
It's a row in something. I'll tell you that much.
Row in something. Okay, so we are almost at time. So we have this last one that I wanted to share with you.
Yikes.
Big yikes. LinkedIn, not Tinder.
This one's funny, actually.
We talk about the stuff all the time, which is women getting harassed on this platform, which is not new for women in general on any platform, but it is kind of rare to see on LinkedIn when things aren't as de-anonymized as this. But this is a divisional account manager. I did look her up, like her background. She works for this company, Umbrella. They sell some kind of like coverage or whatever.
They don't sell umbrellas?
They do not sell umbrellas.
Well,
and I looked at her post history. She does a lot of like company posts, some selfies, that kind of stuff. Now, I will say this. She's a very attractive woman. She posts, pictures of herself.
So it's her fault.
But no, it's nothing provocative. None of that. Like, I post myself in a freaking LinkedIn famous hat, but I'm just saying, like, he obviously has seen that she's an attractive woman.
Yeah.
And so she goes, this is not okay. Every professional deserves to feel safe on LinkedIn, a platform meant for networking, not harassment. I received a message from a man who felt it appropriate to say, in quotes, I'm trying to divide them cheeks. Yes, you read that right. No, this is not a scene from a bad comedy. This was a real message sent on a professional platform. Not a dating app, not a joke. This is harassment, and I'm done brushing it off to not make a fuss. This isn't the first and won't be the last. He thought he could send me a message without consequence, but enough is enough. If you're going to approach someone because maybe you find them attractive, please at least do it correctly. Let's keep LinkedIn a place for professional respect, not inappropriate pickup lines. Anyway, hope everyone has a great week. And then she has a screenshot here of the guy who is Cameron Boparai. Boparai. Stop. And his tagline is take risks and prosper. Well, it's very fitting then with his tagline. And he says, I'm trying to divide them cheeks with a rose emoji. She says,
classy.
Excuse me, ... And he says, oh, calm down. Stop pretending you're a professional. You're spelled wrong, by the way. You work in recruitment. 2 laughing emojis. Thankfully, I've never gotten something like this on this platform because holy shit, I would be just so filled with like Hulk level fury. But I'm sad for her that she got it. It obviously got a lot of reactions. So there's like almost 1,500 reactions. Here's a good comment and reaction ratio, 441 comments. Yep. 11 reposts. Hey, You commented on this. And you don't remember?
I commented this. No one really cared.
No one cared about your comment. Funny. You said the thought process of this guy is hilarious. I'm trying to divide them cheeks. I love how you re-quoted that. Is the worst pickup line ever. Probably tried it on Instagram, Snap, and various dating apps. Clearly didn't work and decided to try it on LinkedIn. This guy is destined to lose.
I mean, is that not the worst pickup line for any platform? Like what?
When people ask me what the worst pickup line I ever got on a dating platform, it was something like, hey, I want to be a chair so you can sit on my face. That is what we have to deal with. Yeah. No, it's not good. One guy at a bar did ask me, he was bald, and he asked me if I would want to shine his head. Whatever that
play
means.
Into your perks, I guess. I get it.
Like, let's just call out the elephant in the room. So anyway, please don't do shit like this to anybody, women, men, anyone. Like, we do not come at someone this aggressively. Also, for the record, she's never posted a picture of her cheeks. Like, don't talk about anyone's cheeks.
He's just assuming she has cheeks, by the way.
He's assuming that she has cheeks. So like, let's not assume unless you're on this podcast, in which case we make lots of assumptions, but that's fine.
Good old, there's always some characters on LinkedIn.
Always some characters, but you know, this guy and porn guy should hang out.
Hey, there's probably a club. There's probably a LinkedIn
group. Let's bring those back. Of
weirdos, I'm sure. They all probably DM each other.
All right. Retention rate. Peace out.
See ya.
And that's a wrap on Notorious B2B, where we expose the nonsense and remind you that most B2B marketing is just a very expensive guessing game.
Don't, and post a passive-aggressive LinkedIn poll about it. We'll still find you.
And if you have B2B drama we should cover, slide into our DMs. We accept screenshots, leaked internal memos, and questionable brand rebrands.
Until next time, keep your marketing unhinged and your LinkedIn bio free of the words growth hacker. See you later.
Later, skater.